Bourbon Barkeep Lounge. My name's Curtis. If you're new here, we do blind battles. We strip away the labels, we strip away the price until the end, and proof, age, all of it. We just go senses on senses, and then on reveal, then we take price into consideration, because it should matter, especially nowadays. I'm also a touch worried because I'm filming right underneath my wife. Are these expensive pours? I don't know, but if I become very hushed, that could be why. I don't know what's more horrifying, filming underneath your wife while you're drinking whiskey, or filming while your wife's sleeping and praying to God the Amazon guy doesn't show up to your door and the dogs just go berserk. But right now, this feels pretty terrifying. On to the tasting while you're here, and not my fear, even though I'm sure that's gonna add a layer to this. I'm gonna open this glass A up here. While I do that, if you can go ahead and like and subscribe. It's amazing until I got into the YouTube thing, if you will, how much I didn't care about liking and subscribing. And now that I'm here, I wish I could have done that more for the people in the past. So for the veterans of YouTube and the veterans of America, let's get this on the nose. Very sweet, very bright sweetness, more like a honey, caramel, and vanilla. Good amount of corn coming out, which, I mean, it's in there, just sometimes it just kind of hides. A little bit, it's like a sweet cinnamon. I mean, obviously it's kind of tucked in with this bright honey and vanilla, but somehow the cinnamon is isolated and still just kind of a sweet thing, you know, just kind of standing off in the background. There's a little more oak coming out. All right, she's waking up. Okay, give me one more second. As it starts to open up and express itself, I'm wondering if this is an old man's shoe. I don't think I get the mustiness of the foot, but it smells like a leather that has been dragged across the ground a few times. All right, glass A on the tongue. Ooh. That candied cinnamon, that cinnamon gummy bear, if you will. It may be the extra hot cinnamon gummy bear. That hangs around on the tip of the tongue for quite a while. I understand this is sip one. We'll revisit. Very hot. Now it's starting to fade. Okay. Cinnamon gummy bear. That's what it is. That is the only thing that's on my tongue. And I do like the cinnamon gummy bear. But when you're talking about just one note, you're like, okay, am I off? Is this off? I don't know. I like it. But if I wanted a cinnamon gummy bear, I don't know if I would want to drink it either. We'll go back for sip two. We got more. There's always more. Sip two. It's good. I do like it. You know, you just want to present what you're given, okay? That Fireball cinnamon gummy bear is there, and it's apparently here to stay. I really like it. The extra hot was just sip one. Just a nice approachable cinnamon. This flirts with Fireball. It definitely doesn't have the alcohol burn. Like, I don't think this is actually Fireball, but a little bit of leather, a little bit of like maybe sugar in the raw if you're fancy and don't do the white sugar, I guess. There's a little bit more richness, kind of like that Demerara, but it's predominantly cinnamon and honey. So I'm gonna hope it's on the budget side, which always sounds like an insult, but it's a very smooth, approachable. I'm drinking it neat. So if you told me that was, what's budget nowadays? $30? It's fine, I like it. All right, I had to cut away because there's something going on with my allergies at this point to where just absolute sneeze fest. So I'm happy that you couldn't participate in that and didn't see it. Let's see what we got. It could have been glass A. We'll see. Glass B on the nose. Whoa, hello. That is molasses, dark brown sugar, chocolate. That's just chocolate covered peanuts. The peanut, it's an extra chocolate. Like the peanut's just kind of barely behind the curtain, but it's there. You know she's there. A lot of chocolate. It's kind of like a nice mint coming out. Really enjoy the nose. Let's see what our palate has for us. Yep. That's full, that's dark, that's rich. The proof is there, very mouth coating, getting a bit drying on the back end. Cinnamon hangs around, a lot of chocolate. Oh, a lot of caramel. I would go on the finish, that salt, that dryness is coming across as like a peanut shell, which I don't know how many cities do this, but I found out Pittsburgh, they just eat the whole thing, the shell and all. Is that true? Is that what you all do? You yinzers? Oh, all right. Sip 2. Let's see what else we got. You know, once you rip the Band-Aid off and you're like, you know, that wasn't so bad. You dive back in with a little more joy. Sip 2, delightful. Still has that cinnamon just kind of zing right in the middle of your tongue to where that could be too hot for some people, but I do kind of enjoy it. The darkness is very rich. You get your chocolate, your caramel. I mean, that's dark. It's a candy bar. It's a candy bar at this point with cinnamon red hots. I love it. Well, I mean, that may be strong. I'm enjoying it. Did glass 1 kind of let it down? Let me down? No. Is glass B much better? Yeah, kinda. We'll see. Sometimes this goes into, you know, hey, we put this lower bottle price against a higher bottle price, and you just kind of hope the lower bottle can kind of stick with it. So I'm gonna revisit, then I got a score for you all, and then we do some reveals. So stay tuned. The revisit's complete. Glass A, it's good. I think it'll be a fine score, a very respectable score, one that you can take home to your mom and dad and be like, you know what, it's not an A, but you know, I gave it my best. And hopefully your mom and dad are accepting to the effort, if you will. Glass B, on the other hand, now granted my palate, it enjoys those flavors a bit more. I think there's just a little more oomph to it in terms of proof and viscosity. But I think some people will buy glass A over glass B because they want more of that brighter but still cinnamon. They compare it to Fireball, which I feel like could be regrettable because it's going to score well above it, hopefully not being Fireball. So without further ado, we do the senses first. That's pure experience, palate. I don't know if this sound is going to come through, but my wife is doing something with hopefully not a power tool above me. And I don't know if it's for me or not. And I don't know if I'm excited or fearful. So let's get on. Could be a wild night. So senses, Bourbon Barkeep. We do just taste, experience, enjoyment, reminiscence, anything that kind of pops in. That's involved in the senses. Then we do a bang for the buck. That's when I actually get to find out the price. And I'm pointing down below, not to my groin area, but to a laptop because it reveals said price to me. But senses, so we don't get ahead of ourselves. Glass A, thin, fine, would be, yeah. We're just gonna go with just a solid 67. Now granted, our 0, our unmemorable, our highly average is 50. So punches above that. It's in the pleasurable, high pleasurable range as well. But that's where we're at. Stick with it. Here we are. Glass B, I don't think is in the great to fantastic category. But when you're comparing it to glass A, it does get a little close to that range. So let's curb it down. What I experienced in glass B, just this beautiful dark brown sugar, just thickness, some leather in there, enjoyed it. The proof did not scare me away, even though it felt higher. We're gonna go 73. feel like as soon as those tiers, it's a big jump to get into those tiers. So semi-firmly into the good stuff. Good for you. Glass B. Now, as we've alluded to, bang for the buck is here. You hear me spout off some prices when I start looking down. Weller, Buffalo Trace, who else? I think that's about it. Those bottles are not available for the prices that I have here, which adds to part of the intrigue for myself and maybe for you. I don't know, I've been told differently. So we have readjusted what bang for the buck can be after the total score, after the review, I guess. So we got that. So the pre-assigned battle 104, we have Glass A at $20, Glass B at $30. That makes a little more sense for Glass A. And for $20 nowadays, and you can drink it neat and not just make like the bitter beer face guy, oh, that's pretty smooth. That's still gonna do well. All right, so bang for the buck, it's still 0 to 100. You know, we're not gonna recreate the wheel. $20, gladly pay it. Would I pay 40? No, I need something with a little more oomph if we're talking $40. I'll go 67. You know, if I were to pay 20 and not a dime above, it would have been 50, and that's fine. I would pay a little more. I think this one, what I get for my 20, gives it most of the credit, not that I would go up to 30. Glass B, on the other hand, I would pay a bit above. If you told me that was 40, is that what I said? That was my guess. I would pay that. Yeah, I would. That's really smooth. It's great neat. I feel like that could hold up in an old-fashioned cocktail, if you will. We'll go 78. Seems a touch high, but details. Let's keep this thing condensed. So with those scores, with Glass B taking it in both categories, there probably isn't an algorithm in the world that would crown Glass A. But what we need to find out is the bang for the buck true on Glass B? Is it actually, what did we say, 30? All right, reveal time to just myself. It's always so exciting for me. Not for you, because you've known this whole time, you liars and cheats. Glass A, it's the old granddads. We had an elderly fist fight in the lounge today, didn't we, huh? All right, so Glass A is the bonded, the 100 proof, makes a little more sense. Has to be 4 years. I don't think, it doesn't taste much older than 4. I will tell them that when I see them next. And Old Granddad 114. Man, if that goes away, I really wanted the Granddad bonded to be able to keep up a bit more, and it does not. So now I am a touch worried about the rumors that Old Granddad 114 is going away. Rumors, pure rumors. If you listen to the Bourbon Junkies, they said absolutely not. Was that founded on anything? No. It sounded like they based it purely off like senses, like the logical piece of them. And I don't think there's a lot of logic in today's world, but the Bourbon Junkies do know their stuff. So I don't want this to be a diss track by any means. Shout out to the Bourbon Junkies. I don't know. There's no way they watch. But, oh man, I may have to go snag a couple more bottles of 114 just in case. I mean, at $30, are you out that much money? Probably not. God, that's so smooth. Damn it. Old Granddad Bonded, let us down. All right, moving on. So after that outburst, like and subscribe, won't happen again. If there's any bottles that you would say is a substitute for Old Granddad 114, put them in the comments below because I would be very curious. It doesn't have to be 114 proof, it just has to be a substitute. Could it make the episodes? Maybe. Am I just out of fear wanting to find bottles as backups already? A little bit. So if Jim Beam is watching, dear God, there is a spot for Old Granddad 114, and it needs to be in here, and in your collection as well. Bye.